All right, how's it going, everyone? Spencer with CFSM Media here with candidate Blake Masters, running for Senate out here in Arizona. Now, last night we were kind of talking about Section 230, because that's been a huge issue with big tech censorship right now. Give me a little background about your platform, and let's talk a little bit about 230.
Absolutely. Well, I do think we need to go after big tech. I think we need to meaningfully restrain these companies. I think it starts with Section 230. I think at this point, Section 230 is basically just, a grant of immunity to Facebook and Twitter, and these companies don't deserve it. They want to pretend like they're publisher or platforms. Actually, they're publishers, right? They're putting their thumb on the scale, they're censoring content. And so fine, wipe away 230, get rid of it. I think it's basically just corporate welfare for Facebook. The problem is, once we get rid of Section 230, right, for Facebook, for Twitter, for these big platforms, I don't think that goes far enough. I think we have to go much farther. I think we have to treat these companies like common carriers. So the phone company can't kick you and I off because they're listening in and we have a conversation in support of President Trump.
Yep.
Right? They're not allowed to do that. And so why on earth would we hold Facebook or Twitter to a lesser standard? I think we've got to hold them to the exact same standard, which is you cannot discriminate against your users based on the content of their political speech. I think that's table stakes.
Yep. So basically, 230 protections for big tech gone because they're publishers now. Essentially,
right.
They're trying to be the public square. So
unless they want to change the way they behave. Yep. If you want to be a platform, great, but you're not going to discriminate against people based on the content of what they post. I think all speech should be allowed on these platforms unless literally it is imminently inciting violence, which is so rare. That basically doesn't happen, right? Everything else, that and, certain kinds of pornography, certainly anything that hurts kids, that stuff, off the table. But if you're merely supporting conservative politicians or causes or talking about election interference or vaccine, whatever your opinion is, that should be allowed.
Okay, that's a very good point.
It's a free speech perspective, but the right actually believes in free speech now. The left doesn't believe in free speech. They haven't for a long time.
Yeah, and that's been the parallel recently. It's like the side that says they're claiming for rights for a while is now flipped to 180. And I think you mentioned too, there would be still some protections for smaller forms. There'd be some type of bracket that would say.
I don't want to regulate startups. When I invest in a startup, I want it to be big and successful someday. You don't want to squash these things in their infancy. But if you have I'm just making this up, we'll have to debate about the details, but if you have 50 million users on a communications platform, congratulations, you've made it. You can make a lot of money, you can stay private, you can make a return for your shareholders, but we're going to treat you like a common carrier, and you're not going to be able to discriminate against people because of the political content of what they have to say.
Perfect. And last thing for the viewers, anything else you'd like to tell them about your platform, where they can find you online?
Yeah, you can find out more at my website. It's just blakemasters.com. Sign up to volunteer, chip in $5 or $10 if you can, blakemasters.com.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Blake.
Dude, thank you.
No problem.
Great to be here. Yeah.